Welcome to the Farmland Commons. Thank you for your interest in this innovative model in how farmland is owned and equity and tenure are conveyed. This model balances agrarian enterprises, economic stewardship, community equity, and farmer autonomy to practice regenerative agriculture and ecological stewardship. This model uses a nonprofit, community-centered structure to hold title to real estate and convey long-term lease tenure for regenerative food production agriculture and ecological stewardship. This model balances security in giving the farm business long-term security, knowing they can stay on the land. It balances freedom, giving the farmer autonomy to operate. Balances control by the Farmland Commons Board to ensure its mission and values are carried out around agricultural practices, stewardship of the earth, and protection and conservation of the ecosystem. The Farmland Commons, as a nonprofit, is governed by a board of directors. This board of directors, similar to a community land trust, utilizes a tripartite board system, with the farmers being part of the board, community stakeholders being part of the board, and national experts being part of the board. National experts could take the form of representation from the Farmers Land Trust. It could take representation from other local, regional, or national land trusts, or regenerative, organic, or biodynamic agriculture organizations, or community food system organizations. These diverse stakeholders come together around the mission of holding title to real estate, conveying lease tenure to farmer, balancing and holding relationships, balancing and holding responsibilities, collecting revenue, and ensuring stewardship and farm practices are carried out. The 99-year lease tenure to farmer provides long-term security. It also ensures the land is decommodified and removed from the speculative marketplace. It allows preservation and active stewardship of the ecosystem. It allows flexibility around varying and evolving farm practices and housing and infrastructure needs. It allows creativity around renewable energy and different community engagement endeavors. Overall, the Farmland Commons requires people, community, and farmland that hold shared values around their future, around how we should connect with them, and how agriculture and stewardship should be practiced. These people, community, and farmland need to cultivate varied forms of capital to make the active transition of this land possible. So the Farmland Commons model requires land that's at a stage of active transition, and it requires the capital needed to make that transition and transfer possible. And all of this is only possible when we come together and work collectively with shared values. The Farmers Land Trust has long envisioned the Farmland Commons model and has created commons-based structures over time. With the Farmland Commons model, the Farmers Land Trust has brought together our values around protecting and preserving farmland, valuing and supporting that transition from one generation to the next, one business to the next, one family to the next on the land, all with a foundation of regenerative, organic, and biodynamic agriculture, all with a foundation for stewardship that improves soil and habitats and ecosystems, that provides healthy water and carbon sequestration, that provides refuge for community members to connect with the land and nurture themselves with food grown from the land. Overall, the Farmland Commons is a limited scope landholding nonprofit that can take one of two forms. One form is a 501c25 structure that requires 3 or more 501c3 entities. The other form is a 501c2 entity that requires one 501c3 entity. Both of these, 501c25 and 501c2, have a sole purpose of holding title to real estate and then developing shared agreements, a lease to farmer, a management plan with the farm and the farmland itself, and board policies and agreements that bind the governance and the operations of the board. And all of this work is only possible when farmland, is ready and able to be transitioned from existing ownership structures and operations into a new community-centered common structure that values regenerative agriculture, that values land justice, that values community equity, and that values a long-term future where we need to come together to bring support to communities and to the land to sustain us. Thank you for your interest in this model, and please explore the website of the Farmers Land Trust. Please explore the resources and template documents of the Farmland Commons model, and please be in touch as you begin to cultivate interest in your local community for a Farmland Commons structure close to you.